Every morning I knew exactly where I would sit, because somehow she always knew where to leave a little room for me. The morning bell was ringing and the hallway filled with noise. Everybody found a place to sit with all the girls and boys. But there beside the window, where the sunlight touched the floor, she'd leave one little empty chair like she'd done the day before. I'd walk in trying not to smile, I'd hang my jacket by the door. She'd move her books a little closer and make some room for one more. She never had to say a thing, she'd only look my way, and somehow that small gesture could brighten up my day. The sunlight crossed her notebook while the teacher wrote the date. I spent more time watching shadows than I ever spent watching the clock. She'd tap her pencil softly when she caught me looking there. Then she'd hide a little smile and pretend she didn't care. At lunchtime we'd walk slowly past the old oak by the field, talking about the places that someday we'd like to see. She dreamed about California, I dreamed about the road, but somehow every dream I had was better when she told me so. Sometimes rain would fill the windows and the whole room turned to gray. She'd save that seat beside her just the same as every day. The drops would race the glass while the old radiator sighed, and I'd be glad that stormy morning had brought me to her side. One Friday after classes, she gave me half her pie. We sat beneath the football stands and watched the evening sky. The town lights slowly flickered and the summer breeze blew through. I wanted to tell her everything, but thank you was all I knew. Then came that final springtime when the school year disappeared. The hallway seemed much quieter than it had through all those years. She packed away her notebooks and I watched her close her book. For one last time she turned around and gave me that same look. She said she'd leave on Monday to stay with family out west. I smiled and said I'd miss her, though my heart could say the rest. She looked toward the window where the afternoon light fell and said, save me a little place wherever life may lead. The next morning I came early and sat beside the glass. The empty chair beside me made the whole classroom feel too vast. I listened to the hallway for footsteps I once knew, and wished that one more morning could bring her walking through. Years have passed since then, and many towns have changed. The schoolyard lost its old trees, the windows have been rearranged. But sometimes on a quiet morning, when sunlight fills the room. I think about that empty chair and how it felt like home. Maybe she forgot those mornings, maybe life carried her away. Maybe she remembers little things in her own different way. But I still hear her laughter when an old song starts to play. And I still see that window at the ending of the day. She never wrote a love letter, she never promised me forever. She only saved a little space beside her every morning. And looking back I understand what I couldn't then explain. Sometimes love begins so quietly, you don't know its name. She always saved me a seat by the window where the sunlight used to shine. And though the years have taken that old school away, somewhere in my memory she's still turning toward me, saving one little place